Alright everyone, welcome to Sour Horsepower, and today we're going to be testing the adaptive cruise control on my Ram 2500. So, I haven't seen too many videos online showing exactly how it works and ways showing that it reacts in certain situations. So, I've had the truck for about a month and a half now. I use adaptive cruise control, I would say, almost daily. And I found some things that, I want to point out in a video and let you guys know that things to look out for while using it, we'll say that. So, we're going to use the 124 Spider as our test vehicle. So with the 124 as our test vehicle, I have my girlfriend driving that. I will be in the truck, and we'll be communicating over walkie-talkies, or probably just call her. And I'll have her go through some of the scenarios, act like other cars, so I can highlight some of the things that the adaptive cruise control does. I don't want to say badly, but I'll point out some of the weaknesses of the adaptive cruise control. And then once we go through that whole test suite, I guess we'll call it, we'll wrap up the video back here at the garage, and I will give you guys my final opinions on whether or not the adaptive cruise control is worth the money. I wouldn't say worth the money. It's worth the money. We'll get more into it. Let's go ahead and get on the road. Alright everyone, so while we're on our way to the highway to go test this, I want to show you all how to activate the cruise control, or the adaptive cruise control, on the Ram 2500. So as you can see here, on the right side of your steering wheel is where all of your cruise control controls are. Cruise control controls, yeah. So the standard cruise control without adaptive is going to be the 4 buttons right here. So you turn it on, you can cancel it, you can resume it and set it, and then to use these buttons to adjust the speed. So for the adaptive cruise control, it activates independently of the standard cruise control. So it's the top 2 buttons here. So this one's going to be to turn it on and off, and then this is to adjust your follow distance. Alright, so here I'll demonstrate that. So you hit this button right here. Sorry, I'm trying to do this all one-handed. And then you'll get a little prompt there to show that it is on the right-hand side there. You can see, let me zoom in. Right next to the right of the speed, there's a little car emblem with the follow distance. So here you can also adjust your follow distance. So you just click it to cycle through. So that is going to be the furthest distance. And there's 4 different stages. So furthest, third, second, and then the closest. So, and then once you do that, you come back down to the settings here to adjust the speed like you would the standard cruise control. So if I hit the set, it'll set it to 60, and it will hold it there, and then it will follow the car in front of me at 60. Or if they start to slow down, they will slow down. So see, as you can see, it's already started working, but we'll come back to that here in a bit. All right, so we're inside the 2021 Ram 2500 Limited Longhorn. We're coming up to our test spot now. I got a GoPro mounted right here. Not sure if you can see it in this view. Got a GoPro mounted right here so you guys can see in front what the my girlfriend and her car is doing, and then it's also on the speedometer so you guys can see exactly what is slowing, or how it's slowing down, and it's not just me like trying to express over video that as she tries to contact me. All right, so for this first test, I have my cruise control set at 70. She's going to be at 55 miles per hour, and she's going to accelerate up to 70, and it's going to demonstrate how the truck will follow somebody. Go ahead. So, as you can see here, she's starting to accelerate now, and we're accelerating. I have not touched the gas at all, and we just went from 55 miles an hour up to 70, well, 68. But it will basically ride up to the max speed that you set it. So if you set it for 70, it will go up to 70, and now she has gotten on the brakes and brought us back down to 55. Now slow down, come right in front of me, and then go ahead and slam on the brakes. So now she's going to pull it out in front of me, and my truck's going to get on the brakes hard, and then she's going to get on the brakes, and it brought us basically down from 70 down to 50. So it's very responsive in that aspect. All right, go ahead and speed up. Now she's going to take off again, and the truck is going to accelerate away. Eventually. I hope it goes, because There's people coming up soon. All right, now we're going. It's very slow on the getaway once somebody breaks you down to a certain speed. It takes a while to get back up. All right, go ahead and get off on this exit here. Now, I'm not going to touch the brakes. We're coming up to an exit, so the truck's slowing me down already. We're going to follow her off the exit. I'm not going to touch the brakes, and it's going to bring us to a complete stop at the stop sign here. Look, my foot, I don't know if you can see, my foot is completely back by my seat. I trust this truck, I hope. I'll be ready if in case it doesn't, but it should bring us down to a complete dead stop. She's braking, it's pulling us down some more. Trust the truck, Chris. Trust the truck. Oh, yep, we're braking, we're braking, we're braking, we're braking. Still haven't touched the brakes. All the way down to 20, and full stop. There she goes. And then it'll tell you ACC may cancel soon, prepare to brake. So it only activates for about 5 seconds, and then blooper reel. Alright, that's like the 4th or 5th time this thing has fallen off. Hopefully it stays on. Hopefully you guys can still see. Alright. So, like I was saying, it only, once it comes to a full stop, it makes you put the brakes on after 5 seconds or else it'll start to roll again. So we'll jump back up on the highway and test it out some more. So that took a while to react. Okay. So that was actually quite interesting. It did not slam on the anchors anywhere near fast enough that I thought it was going to. It kind of rode her rear bumper there for a while. So we'll go ahead and flip around, get back on the highway, and do a couple more tests. All right. Camera has been moved. Finally got tired of it falling down. That was about 8 times that it fell while we were trying to do this. So if you've seen multiple angles from this camera, the front forward camera is what it is. I don't know why it's not sticking to the windshield permanently, but now it's going to be right next to my head, so you get that view. Hopefully you can see out, you can see her car, and hopefully you can see the speedometer to see how it is reacting. But what we're going to do now is a test to simulate what happens when somebody, so say you're going down the highway, you're following a car, and what happens when they get over and then they start braking. Like if they're getting on an exit ramp, we're going to simulate that on the exit ramp with this guy just waved and flashed his headlights at us. I don't know what that was about, but it was actually a Porsche 944, kind of interesting. Sidetracked. So back to the video. It's going to simulate somebody getting off an exit ramp in front of you, and the truck's still trying to latch onto that car with the cruise control. So I'm going to let her go ahead a little bit, and then I'm going to come speed up on her, and then she's going to go ahead and merge off. I'm going to set my cruise control, set it for like 80 just so I can get some speed here. Motorcycle, probably going to ruin this test here. Alright, so I got the cruise control set. Alright, so that was hard brakes right there. So, did what it was expected to do. Now we're fighting cars behind us that are trying to pass. Alright, so we weren't able to necessarily simulate what I experience on a daily basis because of all the traffic we're fighting and some miscommunication on my behalf. So, we're going to head back to the garage. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've experienced while using the system. So I'll see you back there. Alright everyone, so that is going to wrap up our video on the adaptive cruise control. As you see, Amelia's pulling in now. But I just want to go ahead and talk about a couple things regarding it. Alright, so as you can see, the adaptive cruise control works, and it, I would say 95% of the time, works quite well. We got a very loud truck driving off right now. But, so the one main thing I want to take away from this, might have come across in a couple of the tests that we did, is that the truck tends to play it very safe when it comes to the adaptive cruise control. So when a vehicle pulls in front of you, I've had it actually like basically full on slam on the brakes, which is safe, but at the same point in time, it can kind of upset the truck a little bit. It does work well when towing. When the truck does sense that it has a trailer plugged in, it will actually increase the following distance compared to when you don't have a trailer on it. So even with the somewhat aggressive braking, I would say, overall, I guess I would rate the system at maybe like a B or a B plus. There is some sort of finicky things, like when a vehicle is changing lanes in front of you, if it's actually getting out of your way, the truck will kind of wait like 5 to 10 seconds before it starts accelerating back up to the speed in front of you, which if you have a line of traffic behind you, it gets really frustrating, because then now you're the one holding up the line of traffic. So that's one frustrating thing about it. But overall, it does perform as advertised. The lane keep system, I've kind of touched on it here and there before. It's included as part of the safety group along with the adaptive cruise control. But the lane keep, I would say, overall works very well. I would only use it really on the highways. There's no point in using it on like back roads or anything like that, because it kind of just starts to tug the steering wheel all sorts of different directions, especially on like sharper turns. But on the highways, it's very nice. You can adjust the intensity of the correction factor, so you can have it so where it barely tugs on the steering wheel. You can have it to where it tugs on the steering wheel a lot to keep you in the center of the lane. But overall, I'd say if it's something that you're looking forward to, like if you do sit in a lot of stop and go traffic or a lot of traffic that speeds up and slows down a lot, you know, the adaptive cruise control definitely does work in those sorts of scenarios. All right, so that's going to conclude this video today, going over the adaptive cruise control for this truck. If you want to see any more videos on the truck, any particular features of the truck that you want me to highlight, check out our previous videos we've done on the truck, some of my reviews and the towing tests and stuff like that. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you liked it, give us a like, comment below your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Have a great day.